Tucker from Delta Drive Design. Welcome back. We have a new episode here working on the M-677 where we're going to take out this Dana 44 and start working on it. First things first, we got to get it torn down, removed from the vehicle. But the primary objective is, like I talked about in a couple of videos ago, where we're going to relocate the differential from the passenger side to the driver's side. And I'll show you why right here. Because, well, I guess it's right here. This Duramax 2.8 liter has a driver's side transfer case, and so I, of course, definitely want four-wheel drive. So I need to get the differential. You know, it's a good, I don't know, 14 inches off, as well as the other problem is the oil pan hits it. And so we're at, you know, full extension, at least with the current arch on these springs, so much so that I've actually had to jack it up and put a block in here to kind of keep it away from the engine until I can get it relocated and the springs re-arched. But yeah, so that we'll get the axle out and we'll start get it torn down. We'll start mocking up the jig I'm gonna make to hopefully swap the differential from passenger side to driver's side. And I would love to hear everyone's feedback, because I don't know if anyone's ever done this, and it may be a silly idea, but I think it'll work. Because I think the ends of these axles are symmetrical, so I think I can, you know, essentially cut it off here, and then essentially flip that one to this side, cut this off here, slide it all over, flip that one over to this side, and weld it all back together. And of course, I'll probably sleeve the axles, because I am, you know, compromising the strength of the tube, so I'll sleeve it, and/or I'll build a bridge on it. I like the sleeve idea because then it's like a secret reinforcement. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get this down off its winter slumber. It's been up here since I think last fall. Just kind of get it out of the way so I can use the space down here. If I get it down, we'll get the we'll probably just cut off the U-joints because they're gross and remove the steering linkage, and the whole thing should come out. All right, let's get to it. Alright, before we start taking things apart, my future self will thank me. Even though I don't need it, I don't know if I need them. So I think I just want the axle centered. But get some measurements. So we're looking off the shock, or the leaf spring, which I'm assuming is centered, right around 6 1/16 to the flat of that bolt. I'll take another one. Sorry, I'm using the camera hand. Let's say 6 3/8 to the center of the, what do they call that? The king something, king. You all know what it is. King, what is that called? On this side here, let's put this down. It's like 70 years of grime right there. It's not quite 70, but 60 years. So we are on the leaf spring 6 1/4 to that bolt, and 7 7/16 to the center of that. So it's centered. That's good to know. At least this distance is centered. Cool. I don't think there's any other measurements I need before I take this off. All right, now I did forget something. Let's go ahead and raise this up and put some jack stands under the axle so that it doesn't fall out on us when we cut that stuff. Here we're stable. It's pretty stable. Yep, so alright, cool. Now we'll go ahead and cut those off. It's going to be a little interesting getting it off because my plan is to cut the U-joints, the U-bolts, and then rearrange my cribbing so that I can lift just the frame without the axle. But a little interesting. Let's get creative. Alright, let's get to it. Get on some personal protection equipment so I can hear when I'm 70. That helps if you tighten that. Look at that. That one released in a surprisingly violent fashion. The next one will too. It'll be okay. Alright, uno. Alright, well that wasn't too bad. That first cut must have relieved all the tension. That one's free. That one's also free. It's just rusted real bad. Alrighty. Next side. Oh, shit. Pinched my disc. That might be toast. Give it a try. Loose, am I through? Yeah. All right. I just need to pull off castle nut over here. I'll probably take it off. Let's take it off. Let's take it off this side. Easy to get to. Oh, well, that's completely rotten. like to put some needle nose pliers in there. Grab the nearest banging thing and do one of those. Seems to be the best way to get those out without busting your knuckles and stuff. It's nice having my toolbox right here. Alright, what are we looking at? So this will be standard, probably. Like a 5/8 or yeah, 3/4, good guess. Put this back on. To protect the threads, although I'm likely not going to reuse this. I'm probably going to build a whole new, dang it, a whole new, what's the word I'm looking for? A whole new turning steering rack thing. Well, my brain's not working today. Words are hard. Yeah, because I think it's going to be a little interesting, but like, what I don't like about these is there's a lot of slop in this setup. And I know there's like one off-road. The other guy, he's got that really nice M-677. Roy Wallace. Oh yeah, my brain is not working today. It's probably because I got called at 3 in the morning for a problem at work. It's real nice. Yeah, so Roy Wallace, I believe he sells like an upgraded steering linkage setup. And yeah, it's a little expensive. It's like $200, I think. And whereas I think I can build an equally good, if not better, more rigid setup. Goodness, that's probably hasn't been removed since 1964. Am I doing this right? Is it just a... I like to try this first before I start using the fork things, because those will beat up things too. Alright, you asked for it. Yeah, because using these guarantees your ball joint is gonna be fucked, but it's effective. At least the rubber thing, but this one's toast. So I don't know why I'm worried about it. Alrighty, so that is off. And you know what? Let's just take the other side off. So I'm gonna have to try to do this, beat on it while it's sitting on sawhorses or something. A little easier to beat on things when it's still attached to the vehicle. Yeah, I wish the screen would stay on so I could see things better. I guess I could change on the setting, but then my battery will go. Alright, same deal. Dealio. That guy, oh yeah, those are toast as well. Let's get some juice on it, even though it's pretty grimy and gross. Oh, that's better. I have a smaller needle nose, but I don't want to use that one just yet. That one's in there good. Haven't had one like that in a while. Alright, let's get a little more creative. Punch small enough to get in there. Oh, well, yeah, she's toast. So, we are going to just break this off and see if we get lucky. You know, let's take a tire off. Why don't I do that? Alright, let's take a tire off. It's going to be in the way anyways. So, fun fact for people not used to these older Jeeps. Let's see. I think. So, fun fact on these. For whatever reason, I'm not quite sure why. Looked it up and there's some answers online. But they use left-hand thread and right-hand thread for the different sizes. And I saved them up right there. Here's ones I pulled off. And there's a stamp. Yep, I don't know if you can see that. There's an L stamped in the end of the lug nut. You will break every tool you have trying to get off the driver's side until you realize that they're actually left-hand thread. Pretty sure that's what I did back here on this rear tire. Yeah, I broke that one off. And I think I broke another one off. And man, and yeah, I ended up having to weld a nut to that one. Ended up just shearing it off. So, fortunately, I believe I got all the left-hand threads already. So now we're just on normal threads. But all right, what are we talking? I don't have any standard right at hand right now. No, 19. Let's try 21. That fits tight enough for me. There's no chance I'm reusing these, so I'm not worried about it. They'll get new studs, and actually, unfortunately, the wheels I'm using, the offset that they have, it's going to require a little bit of a wheel spacer in order to clear, to have a turning radius clearance. You guys can see what I'm doing. Not that you haven't seen a wheel taken off before. Should have done this before anything else. Yep. A whole lot easier when you're in the right direction. Like I said, but this side is the right angle side, and the other side, sorry, right hand thread. The other side is the left hand thread. Unfortunately, I already took all those off, so I can't show you guys a montage of me not realizing it's left hand threaded. The sad thing is I knew about this, but I forgot. Until I started really looking at the threads, and I was like, I'm going the wrong way. You need to stay where I put you. Okay. Now back to So back to what we were doing before I got distracted by the tire. Get that in the way. Okay, there's one punch. What happened to that punch I was using? There it is. Putting on the hole, maybe I can. Hey, there we go. That worked. Okay. Forkity fork. Not even gonna mess with the other one because these are gonna get replaced. Goodness. Yeah, these are gonna get all replaced with. Wow. Yeah. Really, my brain's not working. The non-greasable joints, Heim joints. There it is. Jeez. One of those weeks, you know. All you want to do is work on your projects, but that nasty work gets in the way of everything that you want to do. Alright, I'll give this a label, even though it doesn't matter. This is you all saw it. It was labeled. We'll see if it's still there when if I ever need to go look at it. Alright, steering linkage. Oh. Do I want to take... Yeah, it's going to tear those off too. Put the nut back. You know, I find it takes an extra second, but sometimes just putting a nut with its bolt or fastener or whatever, just it saves you a little bit of brain energy when you go to put it back together, especially if it's a long-term project, which all of mine are, because I never seem to be able to get something done with everything else going on. It's like ADD of projects. I'm sure you all can sympathize with that. It's like, gotta fix one thing, work on one thing to work on another thing, and then you have to work on another thing to work on another thing, and it's like the never-ending cycle of project ADD. It's not a matter of like losing interest in it. It's a matter of just, you know, having to constantly reprioritize. Awesome. Trash. Some grime in there. Yeah, didn't have to shock that one. What I did on that last one, sometimes it's nice to be able to give like a sharp whack to a bolt to kind of like shock the rust and whatever's holding it in place. So sometimes, yeah, putting it under tension like I did with the fork, and then either whacking on the nut or whacking on the center of the stud with a punch, and it will break that loose. And yeah, I'm sure you all know this, but maybe you don't. That's a trick that I use. Alright. Grab up the instruments of destruction and go to the other side. Alrighty. This is a little less crusty than the other side. That was also... Let's spray anti-stuck juice on it, which I believe is just an acid product. You know, one of my coworkers was telling me, like, I've never really looked at what this is, but it's like phosphoric acid or something like that. Maybe not, it's not that, but it's primarily an acid that gets in there and breaks down that iron oxide. Dang it. Dang it. And of course they put it this direction, so I can't get a direct shot. And it's always the last one, isn't it? You're on the home stretch. think you got it figured out. Dang, it's like right. See if I can punch this one through. I'm glad you're all along for this journey of the fight of working on old vehicles. Really any vehicle. Once they're off the dealer lot for a few years, they just become difficult. Alright, what are we going to do here? I can't get a straight shot on that. You know, there's a risk I could try to get the cotter pin off as much as possible and then just run the threads through it. Get lucky, or it'll go off the threads and I'll have to cut the whole thing off. Which isn't the end of the world. Thanks, all that grease on the other ones protected them. Well, if you guys have any ideas, I mean, I'll have this off by the time I post this, but if you have any ideas on a situation like this where I can't get a punch in this way. Oh, okay, I got an idea. I can get a punch in this way if I break these off. Well, alright, well, I'm amazed that worked. That was a risky proposition right there. Don't think I've ever done that one before. Alrighty. Alright. And we are free on that. What is attached over there? My cut. Oh. Has a steering stabilizer on it. Interesting. I bet you that didn't help any. Alright, where's my cutting apparatus? Alright, I don't know what happened there. Something turned off. Hopefully it was recording, but if not, it's okay. Alright, got that cut off. Alright, we got drag link. Alright, anything else? I think we're free. Here. Now let's see, how do I want to lift this? right. We got that front Dana 44 out. Made a little bit of mess, but it's all right. You got the Jeep back up in the air. It's a little high right now. I'll lower it down so the garage door will clear. But we'll go ahead and pull this outside and start tearing it down. All right, off to the next one. All right, this thing's too heavy. I'm not gonna try picking it up. I'm gonna use my forklift attachment. Okay, so we got the axle up here on the table thanks to my handy dandy engine lift forklift attachment, which, by the way, you know, that's a secret preview of a product that I will probably be launching, I don't know, the next 6 months or so, which is actually the powder coating oven I built. That's what I built it for, is to powder coat those, because I'm tired of lifting stuff. My back hurts, so everyone needs a forklift. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to take the hub apart first. This is a Cutlass hub, which I believe was the stock option on this vehicle, I think. Pull this up. Oop, lost a washer. Don't want to lose that. Alright, so we got the shifting portion. Ooh, that's gross. That's probably never been greased in its life. Okay, so now we got, let's see if you can see. Let's get you a little closer to the action. So we got a clip in there, so let's go get my pliers. See if these guys will do it. Oh no. Change the tips out. See, look at that. Got Harbor Freight Special. This won't do the trick. I think that one's a Harbor Freight Special too, but oh, come on. goes there. Looks pretty good condition, just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Okay. And next we got a big old nut in there. Shoot, that looks like a 2-inch. That's not gonna work. Oh. Oil spill. Oil out of this thing. Use my special pan that's expertly modified to fit under my outdrive on my boat. That was an accident. There we go. Of course, there's probably no oil left. I probably drained it all out. Let's see. Question is, I did the other side. How did I get that off? Course. Oh goodness, that's how they got it. I've been using a screwdriver. Screwdriver up and wedged in one of the sides. All right. Does it have? Oh, that's a QA. Yep, that's how they've been doing. See, it's got. This went in a pinch. Made it work. Nuts off. So that means someone has been inside of this hub in the last few years. theoretically that should release it. Ooh, that's all crusty. Another nut. Pretty gnarled up washer. Goes with a little indentation inward. So notes to self. Alrighty. This one doesn't look like it's had the screwdriver treatment, so I don't think I want to do that. Let's see if I got a socket right here. Nope. Let's try a different. Oh, okay. It's just finger tight. So I'll need to either buy myself a socket for these or machine one. Well, it's not too tight, so I might be able to just do the same thing I just did with the screwdriver, where I just twisted it. Oh geez. So looks like they also did the screwdriver treatment on this one as well, but they put the dent inward when they reassembled it, which means it probably needed to go the other way, because that's a critical surface. So I'll need to touch up those burrs when I put it back together. And there we go. We got a washer of sorts. Doesn't look like really a direction, but the shinier side looked to be inward. And then we got a tapered bearing, a wheel bearing. Feels pretty good. Feels real good. Nothing, no marks, no wear on any of the rollers. It looks good. I'll do a deeper inspection. Made in the USA. Temkin. Yeah, that's a good bearing. Alright, now get rid of you. Oh, that's crusty. Alright. Uno. Dos. Tres. Cuatro. Cinco. Ooh, smells like some old grease right there. Alrighty. Now that's a little worse. The actual race, well, I guess it's not a race, it's just the contact or part that the bearing slides onto. It's a little pitted. This would have been the bottom side, so it makes sense the water would run down here and pit it right here. Alright. These back so I don't lose it. So we got this set up to take some measurements. We put the steering linkage back in so that we can have both sides parallel. And then I've got a square on that side and a square on that side with a piece of aluminum bolted to it because I can't find my other square right now. But this will give me a good as found measurement of the outside of the axle minus the moving parts inside of it. So we are looking at 69 1/4. Or sorry, say 69 1/4, 60. I guess. Oh, looking on. Yeah, 69 1/4. Alrighty. Now let's start turn down the rest. Yep. That's a lot of gunk. Really like these ball knuckles instead of the traditional knuckles that you have on the open knuckles instead of closed knuckles. Yeah, I really like the closed knuckles. So hopefully they clean up real nice. They look pretty pitted and worn, so we'll see. Yeah, pretty sure, hopefully the footage caught up. I'm pretty sure this indention went outboard. Pretty sure that's, oh, well, that's cool. Ooh, that's crusty. Oh, okay, interesting. So it's got shims. So in order to set your preload on these bearings, you shim it. Interesting. Like I said, I've never worked on one of these. This is pretty cool. Yeah, the indention's on the outboard sides. Alrighty. Let's put these back in so we don't have to keep track of them. Yeah, Ziplocs, putting them back in. I like to, if I can't put them back in, I like to put them in either Ziploc, or I've got a bunch of heat seal bag and a heat sealer. I'll just put things in and seal them up and label them so that, you know, in years when I get back to something, which hopefully on this one it won't be that long, because I got to get ready for October. But that way you remember how to, you don't have to remember so hard how to put it back together. Yeah, let's take a look inside. That's crusty. It's been holding some water. So this will need a full refurb, probably some new king pins or nuts or whatever these are called, new gaskets, whole shebang. Well, cool. All right, well, that's one. I'll go and do the other one. You guys don't need to watch that one. All right, we got both sides torn down. The axle shafts, they just slide right out. So I'll leave them in right now, so when we take apart the differential, we can kind of see where they land inside all that stuff in there. So yeah, this side, the seal was better. The seal that goes around this cup was better on this guy, but we'll replace both anyways. But yeah, you can see it's got some pretty heavy scarring, so we'll see what we can do to clean it up, but it'll be okay. Alrighty, let's go ahead and take apart the differential. Get on there. Here's their tag. Wonder where that was. Got information on the differential. Oop. Get. Cannot read that. I'll have to take a wire reel to it or something. Wire wheel. Well, there was another tag right here. Yeah, well, that's pretty gross. Chunky. But at least there was oil in it. I'll take that as a win. There's the power lock right there. Glad to be able to confirm that it is in this differential. It's supposed to be, but you never know. So I don't see any witness marks on these caps, which tells me that it's probably never been apart. So this is original. I want to say the odometer said something like 40,000 miles on it, which is kind of impressive considering it only goes like 50 miles per hour. And this is upside down. We're looking at it upside down, so keep that in mind. There's some chunks in there though. And I wonder if the grease that's in the closed knuckles works its way. I wonder if there's supposed to be seals that are gone on the inside of the axle tubes, and the grease works its way down the axle shaft into here, because that's what it sure looks like. It's like oil mixed with grease, which I'm sure does not do any favors on that power lock, because you're supposed to run a special additive in the power lock so that the discs have the proper friction. It's like a friction modifier, I think is what they call it. Yeah, I don't see any witness marks. See, it's got a little pyramid here and a part number. A little pyramid points this direction towards, which would have been the driver's side, because this is flipped. Yeah, this is what it's going to look like when we're done, but it was flipped around or turned 180. But yeah, there is a mark down here. It might say left. It might say right, or it might be a B, or it might be an R. Okay, never mind. There's a witness mark right there at A. Huh. It kind of looks like they have these caps backwards, so maybe someone was in here. So it sure looks like an L. And that sure looks like an A, and this looks, I could buy an A out of that. Well, goodness. Which way should we go? Well, at least there's some unique identifiers on it. Yeah, there might be an A stamped right there. Yeah, yep, there's an A right there. 8A. Something to something. Alright, let's go with it. Let's turn this up like this. I'll work on it. Alright, so the axle shafts aren't doing me any good. Pull them out, at least out of the differential. What size are you? Maybe 3/4. 3/4, sure enough. Well, that's got some torque on it. I'm gonna get out the big. I don't know why I waited so long to get one of these. So much better than one of those Harbor Freight deals. That looks heavy. And there's a couple tricks to get these out. Let's give a crowbar trick a try first. Alright, well, imagine they're usually harder than that. Just got lucky on that guy. Alrighty, let's room. Goes up here. Put it in the oil. As far as any. Oh man. That's right. Leave you in there. Alrighty. We got the carrier out. Pinion's still in there. But the pinion can stay for now. And I don't want to mix up these cups, so I might put the caps back on. Inch and a half separation when they're all the way in. Alrighty, so we got that Dana 44 taken out and torn down. So we're gonna let this drain overnight and then start jigging up or making a jig to hold it so that when we cut it and move it, we can keep everything aligned. But that'll be it for today. Thanks for watching. Till next time.